You know, folks, I really believe that MAGA is not as popular as the media loves to make them out to be. I don't think that their ideas are as popular with the American people as some people may think because the big red wave that they've kept predicting keeps missing. It doesn't show up. And I think the main reason it doesn't show up is because MAGA is completely out of touch with ordinary, everyday Americans. They're playing to this fringe element of the Republican Party, and they think in doing so that'll be enough to get them over the finish line. But anyone knows that they're going to have independents and moderates to pull this election off, and I don't think they have that on their side at all. I don't think they have independent and moderate voters in their corner because of the extreme lengths that they've went to appeal to the radicals. And so as Trump gets closer and closer to this election, he's starting to panic. And the reason he's starting to panic is because once Roe versus Wade was overturned, it was a highly unpopular decision. Again, it's a decision that's going to affect a lot of people and make a lot of people go to the poll on that issue alone. Trump tries to go out and he tries to brag about it, but at the same time, tries his damnedest to distance himself from it. And now he's doing the same thing with Project 2025 because he realizes, wait a minute, I've backed myself in a corner. This ain't as popular with the American people as I thought it was. And so now he's going out of his way to distance himself from that when he posted this on Truth Social. I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them. See, when I read that, I hear a guy in full-blown panic mode. He realizes now that this isn't as popular as he thought it was, and so now he's trying to say, I know nothing about them. I don't have any idea who's behind it, but I know some of the things they're saying are ridiculous, and then I wish them well. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever because why would you wish anyone well who you know nothing about? You don't know who's behind it. And in today's age, we live in a world where you can bring receipts. So if someone like Donald Trump says, I don't know who's behind it, you can say, well, then why was you shaking hands with them? And not only was he shaking hands with him, here he is saying that Kevin Roberts is doing a great job.
Heritage Foundation president, somebody else doing an unbelievable job. He's bringing it back to levels it's never seen. Dr. Kevin Roberts. Kevin, thank you, Kevin. Kevin, thank you, wherever you may be.
You see, I absolutely love bringing these receipts because it just shows us exactly who Donald Trump is. Check out this post that he made on Truth Social. Kevin Roberts, the highly respected president of the Heritage Foundation, was a smart and wonderful guest as interviewed by Pete Hegseth on Fox and Friends Sunday. Keep going, Kevin. Get the word out. Oh, and by the way, Kevin is getting the word out because here he is talking about Project 2025 and saying that Trump deserves full credit for it. Take a look.
On one project since soon after Joe Biden took the oath of office, before any conservative presidential candidates had even entered the race. As my friend and colleague Paul Dans before talked about briefly, our Project 2025 has developed a comprehensive policy agenda, but even more importantly, recruiting people, 20,000 people to go into the next administration, hopefully to help take back this country for you and for your audiences. We want no credit. We want the American people. If President Trump is elected again, President Trump and his administration to take credit for that. But it will also be a great sign if all of this is successful, that in fact, as we know in our prayer time, but maybe not every time when we're watching the news, that the Lord is still smiling upon America.
But again, he has no idea who they are and he has no idea who's behind it. And I could just keep playing these clips all day long because here he is talking directly to the Heritage Foundation.
Your organization is named the Heritage Foundation because you understand that our glorious heritage is the foundation of everything we hope to achieve, which is why we need the help of the Heritage Foundation and everyone here tonight to get our tax cuts through the House, through the Senate.
So I think we absolutely have determined that Trump definitely knows who's behind it. He knows who's pulling the strings. He knows what they're all about. He has been encouraging them to keep doing the good work. But now that he realizes it's not popular and it could potentially sink his entire candidacy, now suddenly he's trying to backpedal and get away from it. But I want to play this next clip from Steve Bannon because he's another one that's been out there pushing for Project 2025. Listen at what they plan to do on day one and tell me how this is supposed to appeal to independent and moderate voters.
These guys have come up with a plan that on the victory, the third victory, the second term, we hit the deck plates runner, right? There's 4,000 appointees by a president, 4,000 to run the entire government. 1,000 of those, I think, have to be Senate confirmed. But 3,000 can start work day one. Walk through what you guys are doing. I know, and I keep asking, do you work for Johnny or does Johnny work for you, right? But
I definitely work for John. So what we're doing with Project 2025 is we're recruiting the Maga America First Republicans right now so that we can take DC by storm in 2025. We're not going to go in like we did in 2017, where the establishment took over and co-opted much of the personnel of President Trump's administration. We're more prepared this time. We're recruiting grassroots conservatives, and we want all of you, if you want to serve in the next White House, next State Department, next Pentagon, we want you to sign up. Tell your sons, tell your daughters, tell all your friends. It's project2025.org.
So, Johnny, okay, you heard that? If you guys want to serve, you've got to get engaged now. You've got to be involved now, because one of the big parts of this is networking. It's not just training people up, but those networks that we do with grassroots organizations, with other organizations. Walk through, tell me what the plan is.
So we're collecting resumes. We're getting as much information as we can now to save the transition time on the back end. As you know, when a president wins, or president-elect wins, things happen very quickly, and you have a short amount of time to staff an entire administration. It's also looking beyond the 4,000 and what we can do with the bureaucracy itself. So we're thinking of creative policy things as well that will integrate with this.
So basically what they're wanting to do is just surround Donald Trump with nothing but yes men. They want people there that will do whatever he says. They're actually saying to people in the crowd, you can sign up to work in the administration today. Folks, that's not how it's supposed to work. Right now, President Biden has a cabinet, and in that cabinet are people who specializes in their departments, and they're smarter than President Biden on those issues, and he knows that. So he goes to them, he sits down, and they talk about things, and he gets their advice. Donald Trump wants to absolutely gut every bit of that. Project 2025 wants to do away with every bit of that and have nothing but Trump yes men standing there. When you're looking out into the audience and saying, hey, you can sign up, you can help us, that's absolute insanity and should be pointed out as such. But Steve Bannon's not happy. He wants them to say that they're going to destroy the deep state, and of course they do. Take a look.
Is there going to be a plan in place to start to take apart the administrative state?
There has to be, and yes, there will be. The next president, if President Trump gets back in there, he needs to reorient the government that's in a way that hasn't been seen since Franklin Roosevelt did it with the New Deal. We need to gut these agencies. We need to start from scratch. We need to make a new government, essentially, because the one that we have now doesn't work for conservatives. It wasn't made for us. It's built against us. So we have to go back to the drawing board with these agencies.
Johnny,
So there it is, folks. They want to gut all of the agencies that would hold a president accountable, and they want to create an administration in their image that looks exactly like them. They said so right out loud. How many times here on the channel have we talked about this, and how many times have I said they don't want a government of diversity? They want everything to look exactly like them, and them have the only say in anything. So if you're reading Project 2025 and you're understanding everything they want to do in the next conservative administration, they're not going to listen to the other side at all. They've made that clear. So they can't tell us that they're for democracy when they want to gut all of the agencies that would hold Trump accountable and then put a government that would be strictly in their image. They said it out loud, folks. That's why now Trump is running scared. That's why now he's trying to back up and say, wait a minute, I don't know nothing about this. But we got the receipts, and we can point them out to them all day long. So when your Fox News watching uncle says, yeah, don't worry about that Project 2025, Trump ain't got nothing to do with that, just show them this video. Just show them all the receipts because they're out there. That's the problem with Trump. You know, he talks so much, and he's in panic mode right now. The closer we get to the election, trust me, the more he's going to panic. And when he gets in panic mode, he's going to completely lose sight of what he said. He's going to get tripped up, and we'll always be there to catch him when he falls. We'll always be there to point it out and say, hey, well, no, wait a minute, back up. You know exactly who Project 2025 is. Here you are shaking hands with them. Here you are telling them they're doing a great job. Here they are giving you all the credit for it. Here's your people saying we can't wait to just let random people in off the streets to work with you. So yeah, it's all right there. The receipts are there, and we're always going to bring them. Just remember, folks, that we're going into this election. It's the most important one of our lifetime. And I know that's cliche. I know it is. But our democracy has never been more threatened, and we got to keep bringing the receipts, and we got to keep pointing this out. And we've got to rally around President Biden now more than ever. Just stay focused, keep your eye on the ball, because we can't look away now. This should be a knockout. It really should be. It shouldn't be this hard, folks. Donald Trump is easily beatable because he beats himself every day.